Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Afoma Omesi and I run the website Reading Middle Grade, which is dedicated to championing the best middle grade books for ages 8 to 14. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 3 middle grade books released in this case in January 2025. The monthly new release posts are a perk for members of my Patreon community. I would love to have you join us if you want to see the full list of 15 new releases I shared from January 2025. The link to my Patreon community is in the description box below. Come join us. You can join for as low as $10 a month. But today I'm going to be sharing 3 out of the 15 I shared on Patreon, and these are fantastic new middle grade books that you don't want to miss for your classroom or your homeschool and for the middle grade readers in your life. Let's get started. The first book is called The Secret of Honeycake by Kimberly Fusco. This is a wonderful story, very heartfelt, about a young girl named Hurricane. Hurricane is living in coastal Maine with her sister after her mom's death from tuberculosis when her sister develops the disease as well. This book is set in the 1930s during the Great Depression. So when her sister discovers that she has tuberculosis, she has to go for treatment, leaving Hurricane to be with her aunt who lives in the big city. And I love this story for so many reasons. First of all, Hurricane is a budding writer. She writes a lot about her feelings, but also she's quite a stubborn kid. And if you like stories with like spunky heroines and found family, then you're going to love this story, because when she goes to live with her aunt is at first really not sure how to deal with having a kid since she's never raised a child before, and Hurricane is pretty difficult at first, but then Hurricane gets to form a wonderful relationship with the butler. And I love the setting of the Great Depression as we learn about what life was like for people at that time. And also there's the backdrop of the electrification, as electricity is a new thing, and there's Hoovers and fridges and things like that. And it's just so much to discuss about this time period in this story. This book also reads aloud beautifully. It has really short chapters, which makes it easy to read. Like every chapter feels like a quick win, and it's a good one to keep reading with your kids every night and they're requesting one more chapter. I love this book, and you know how I am with historical fiction. It's not always a win for me. So when I love a historical fiction title, I know that it's really engaging. This is perfect for kids who loved books like A Place to Hang the Moon, The War That Saved My Life, and Light and Air. I would recommend it for readers in grades 3 and up if you're going to read it to them, and if they're going to read it independently, at least grade 4 and up. The next January release I would love to tell you about is No Purchase Necessary by Marianayagam. This book follows 8th grader Ajay, who is of Sri Lankan descent and the son to immigrant parents. Everything is going okay in Ajay's life until he's peer pressured into stealing a chocolate bar that has a $1 million prize attached. So AJ, of course, wants to redeem the prize, but then he's stolen this bar, and so that puts him in a bit of an ethical dilemma, especially because he doesn't know how to tell his parents that he won this prize from a bar he didn't buy, and he's actually now scared of the store owner, who in a twist of events has AJ also working behind his parents' back at the store. So there's so much in this story besides the web of lies that he's put himself into. We also have a precocious little sister, a potential crush, and dealing with strict immigrant parents while trying to figure out school, life as a Catholic, and also just how to work through this $1 million prize chocolate bar. This book is so funny. It's perfect for kids who loved stand-up Yumi Chung and other stories about kids who've been caught in a web of lies. This book is by a debut middle grade author who we hosted in January for a virtual author visit. I loved the story. It was one of my favorite books that I read in January, and I've loved recommending it to so many readers. And I think that if you have kids in upper middle grade school, kids ages 10 and up, they will enjoy this book. It's really funny, it's very relatable, and it has all the elements necessary for a wonderful story. My final book to tell you about today is Operation Cover Up by Tate Godwin. This is a new middle grade graphic novel series. It's about 2 kids, one brainiac and one class clown. And they're starting 5th grade together, determined to be themselves. Their parents have told them each, be yourself, your friends will love you, just be who you are. But as soon as they get to school, it's not long before they're mistaken for each other. So the class clown says something smart just this one time, and everybody assumes that he's this brainiac, and vice versa for the brainiac. So they meet up and they decide What if we helped each other? What if I maintained my status as a supposed class clown and you as a supposed brainiac, and we just help each other succeed at doing this? Of course, this means that there's going to be potential problems, but they don't realize that at first. And as they try to help each other through this, they end up forming a friendship that is cute. And of course, they end up realizing that it's very important to be who they are if they really want to make true friends. This story is zany and it's unconventional. It has some tough vocabulary words, but at the same time, it's funny, it's quirky, and I think that it's going to appeal to kids who love stories with like anthropomorphized characters. I can see this really going off well with kids who like books like Dog Man, and also stories like Falling Short by Ernest Cisneros, which has a similar plot as well. I enjoyed this debut graphic novel, and I'm looking forward to the other books in the series. As I mentioned earlier, I shared 12 additional books with my Patreon community, 12 books releasing in January. And this month in February, I'm doing the same thing. I do it every single month for my Patreon community. This is a Patreon exclusive post. So if you would love to have new releases every month, new releases that I've read and loved, not just a dump of what publishers are putting out this month, then I would love you to join my Patreon community. You can join for as low as $10 a month, and you can also buy individual new release posts for $5 a post. So I hope to see you over on Patreon soon, and comment below to tell me what your favorite middle grade book released in January 2025 is. I would love to add more books to my TBR. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to see more content from my channel. See you in the next one.